Done. Finally. Alright. Battle Network 4 is done. Now we have to move on to Battle Network 5. Alright. So man, I still haven't even made the Battle Network 5 video yet. A lot of people keep watching my other ones. I should really get back to playing it again. Oink. No, you stay away from me, you. Enough of that. Such good times to be had on the Nintendo Switch. Let's play this thing. Wait, I felt like there was supposed to be something else I was supposed to play. Holy, it's been that long? Ugh, I should really make that video. Alright, let's do it. Ah, it's a few more days. Huh. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. You know, might as well go get disappointed again. Megaman Battle Network 5 is in rare company with me. It's a game that I've played before, but could not get through all the game from before. I played it, God, many, many years ago. I emulated it. I didn't have a proper cartridge at the time. I just knew that there was a time when I kind of wanted to get through all the Battle Networks and, experience everything they had to offer. And once I got to 5, I was excited because, it looks pretty sweet. It plays different navies and blah, blah, blah. And then partway through, I couldn't keep going. Something in me just did not want to keep playing, whether it be distractions or something else. And this was about two to almost 3 different attempts that I've had trying to play this game before I eventually did it for this review. And even then, for this review, you know how long it's been since the last video of a Battle Network game. So you know how long it's been just sitting in the back burner, just like, I have to come back to this eventually, don't I? I could skip it. I could go right to the best one, I think. But I have to do this one first. I'm trying to go in order of when I played them. And I did play 5 before I played 6. I didn't finish 5 before I went to 6. But I did play it. Now, could I find something different this go around? I know I've played it numerous times coming up to now, but just not finished. But, I mean, with 4, I played it a lot as a kid and found a lot of enjoyment then, but when I played it now, I found that it was much weaker of a game than I remembered it being. Could the tables have been turned? Well, let's not waste any time. Let's dive in and take a look at Mega Man Battle Network 5. So Battle Network 5 takes place sometime after 4. Duh. Lan and company are having a good time being kids and all when Lan gets a call from his dad inviting Lan and his friends to Scilab to observe some new science stuff. While there, the lab gets attacked by some agents of Nebula, led by a returning Dr. Regal. They kidnap Lan's father and steal Lan's friends' PETs and escape. While trying to rescue the lost Navis, Lan is recruited by either returning Chod or Beryl to join a special task force set to try and take down Nebula for good. So the story does start out with a bang, way better than the last one. You do a few tutorial stuff and then bam, it's like violent espionage, just right off the bat. I will give it that. The story is marginally better, mostly only because it's like a legitimate flowing narrative this time, rather than just like little itty bitty segments going through it all like with 4. Kind of returns back to how 3 kind of did it. It was more about a large grandiose plot and then a bunch of sub arcs, but the sub arcs actually impacted how the main story went down. So the story's a little bit better, only in that regard, though. The story's still not very good, though. So before we get too far into that, playing the game is pretty much the exact same as before. It's in the Soul system, so Megaman has access to all the double souls from the Navis that he recruits onto the task force, depending on which game you play with. And they're all fine and dandy. Dark Megaman also returns as well, but rather than having the chips show up whenever Megaman is in a nervous state, you can actually find dark chips out in the overworld and actually set them into your chip folder. I still never used them, so I can't really show them still, but, if that's something you're interested in, then they are a more set function that you can take care of rather than being something sort of random. My biggest issue comes with this game's heavy story-focused aspect, liberation missions. The point of liberation missions is to navigate a field covered in dark spots, each one holding different viruses. Your goal is to unlock the boss Navi's area by taking down their mini-bosses and then taking down the big boss themselves, completely liberating the area. To get the good kind of out of the way, what's neat about liberation missions is that you actually not only get to control Mega Man, but all the other Navis that you recruit onto the task force. Sure, Mega Man can get the souls of them as well, but it's really neat to actually play as a different character with different features that correspond to them. And Mega Man's souls and how the Navis play themselves are still kind of different, so it's still kind of a neat thing to have. And that's about it for the good. Liberation missions do pretty much everything possible to be hostile towards the player. As you go around liberating panels, you have to be conscious of which ones you liberate. The rules of liberation are that you only have 3 turns in the custom screen before you fail the liberation. However, the game auto forces you into the custom screen, so you have to be quick about what you do, or else you fail the liberation entirely and have to do it again. Now, if you're surrounded by other panels, then the layout of the fight and the enemy amount and even sometimes their types gets more difficult, which the game tries to force you to do a lot. And since it tends to try to take you right into the custom screen without any sort of thought process going on, you're forced to basically just barrel through as fast as you can. And if you don't get the right chips early on, then it just feels like a waste of a turn. It gets harder still when you gain access to programs, yet the Navis on the Force don't benefit from it, only Mega Man. Meaning that after their initial introduction, their effectiveness wears off immediately. They really only gain minimal upgrades as the story goes on. If you want to clear more panels out, there are 2 ways to do it. Firstly, each Navi has a special overworld ability, usually centering around liberating more than one panel at a time, each one costing an order point. The problem comes in the resource management side of things. You don't start out with many points, and it's very hard to get more, if any at all, during a single liberation mission. There are special panels that you can get that will give you some items, but it could just as easily give you a battle chip or health that you really don't need. The other way to do it is by doing a 1-turn liberation, which is fairly self-explanatory. By doing that, you clear out the panels to the left and the right of the target. That's fine, but something I really hate is that more often than not, I do it while using a special skill, And that skill would have cleared the same panels out as just the one turn, which would have been a perfect chance to refund my points back, helping with resource management. Yet I don't get the points back at all. Yeah, hi, excuse me. I'd like to return these order points. I didn't actually need them. I one turn, so I don't need to use them anymore. Sorry, no refunds on used items. Awesome. Serious? Alright, I guess that makes sense. Well, could you at least like reimburse me a little bit? Add on at least a little bit. I already one turn. I don't need to use the order points. I need to save them for later on in case I do actually need them. Sorry, you paid for 3 squares. You get 3 squares. Oh wow, seriously? All right, fine. I'll just reset. I will go back to my previous save. I will do it all over again. How about that? What are you laughing for? Seriously? You can try, but doesn't guarantee that you'll get the same enemy types or the same battle chips. So, good luck with that. Good point. Fine. Okay. Look. I am 2 squares away from an item spot. Could you just at least give me some order points then? Oh, yeah, sure. No. See, that was health. I don't need health. You saw I was full. You gave it to me, and I didn't need it. I need order points. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. No. See, now that's a battle chip. I already used the Numberman Lotto. I'm all decked out. I don't need it. I need order points. Well, you want order points. Okay. Here, I'll just yeah. I'm sure I'm right there. Just hold on.
What?
Just
screw this.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah. No. I think I got it. Oh no, it's a bottle of Mountain Dew. Cool. As you do these missions, there's a set goal for you to reach the end in a set amount of turns, in which you would earn a special prize not available anywhere else. The amount of turns needed, they're so small. Ugh. You have to basically already know the layout, and even be slightly lucky as well, in order to reach these goals. Oh, it's gross. It's probably the most annoying part of the game, is that there's a prize waiting at the end of the tunnel, but you know that you're not going to get it unless you just play the game over and over and over again. And all that previously mentioned stuff applies to the boss navies as well. You only get 3 turns to do as much damage as possible. They recoup some health back at the end of turns, and it's usually quite a bit, so if you ain't taking the boss out in one go, it's best to just wait, meaning of course that the round limit is just a bunch of bull, since they probably don't even think about that at all. It's been kind of a rough go trying to go back to some of these Battle Network games for some reason. 3 was fine. 4 introduced the Soul system, which is probably my more preferred battle style that the series introduced, and all that good stuff with the navies and the Soul system and everything. It's just that 4 didn't really have a good story. 5 slightly improved it, but the liberation missions just take too much up of the game, and it's just not a fun thing to try and do in a casual sense. If you're really hardcore, I'm sure you could find some enjoyment, but I just couldn't do it. And when I eventually go back to play the first 2 Battle Network games, it's going to be really hard for those 2 to be lower on my list of favorite Battle Network games than 5. I really did not enjoy playing 5 at all. It's just a shame. Which is why I think now is a good time to go back to some familiar territory. Go back to a nice comfort zone and go to a game that I remembered loving way back in the day, and I know that I'm going to love again when I come back to it here very shortly, as the next game that I'm going to look at before I get to 1 and 2 will be Battle Network 6. I'm super excited, so look forward to that review. I'm not going to make any promises about when it'll come out, seeing as how long it took to get from 4 to 5, but I'll just say it'll be ready when it's ready, and hopefully I won't get distracted too much. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click right up there to check out some of my other videos that I've done, or if you really feel like it, you can click right up there to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I will see you all later.